another fundamental that we need to talk about that is just so very important is going to be the correct grip. You want to have the correct grip on your handgun, and it'll make you be able to mitigate and control the recoil a lot better. And so let's talk about the what we call the thumbs forward, two-handed thumbs forward semi-automatic handgun grip. I know that's a mouthful, but it's very important. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right hand. So I'm going to refer to right hand as strong hand. I'm going to refer to your left hand as your support hand, okay? I don't want to say weak hand because your left hand is vitally important, so we don't want to call it the weak hand. We want to call it the support hand. So first things first, you are going to open up your strong hand, kind of like an L, right? You're going to come up high, up on the back strap, up into what we call the beaver tail, and you're going to get way up in there. You're going to wrap these three fingers around the front of the grip, around the front strap. Now the key here is when you grab it like this, you want to make sure that you are all the way up here. You do not want a gap. If you leave a gap right here, it allows the gun to have a pivot point when you fire it. So you want to come all the way up as high into that beaver tail as you can. Now remember, the beaver tail is there to protect you from the slide. So you want to get all the way up there as high as you can, no gap. Now these three fingers are going to wrap around the front grip, and they need to come into contact, just like so, come into contact with the trigger guard. Again, if you leave a gap there, you're going to have a pivot point. This is your trigger finger, and it's going to stay right here off the trigger on the frame of the gun until you're ready to fire. So let me kind of demonstrate why you don't want any gaps there. So if I have gaps here, when I grab this gun, it's going to move everywhere. It allows it to pivot, right? You want to essentially almost vice grip this gun into place, and you want to use leverage. So if I hold this gun just like this, I come up here, I'm going to leverage that gun up, I'm going to squeeze my fingers around, and it's going to lock that gun into place. And it does not have all that slop as if I was like this. It'll lock it into place. Now, when you're gripping the firearm, you want to squeeze it from front to back. So that's from front to back, okay? Front to back. If you flip the gun over, you will notice that there is a big gap right here. You want to fill that in with your support hand. You want these four fingers to come up on over these three fingers coming into contact with the trigger guard. You want to stack your thumbs. Since my strong side is my right side, my right thumb is going to be over my left thumb. Okay? Now you never want to put your hands or your thumbs behind the slide because it's going to bite you, and you don't want that. If you've ever been slide bitten, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So you want to stack your thumbs just like this. Now your thumbs can touch the side of the slide, even though that slide is moving, and it will not harm you, it will not hurt you. You probably won't even feel it moving, okay? That's fine. Now I've got long thumbs and big hands, and so my thumbs look a little aggressive. Yours may look more like this. And if you want to lower them down to the frame of the gun, you sure can. What I don't want to see is this of your support hand. I don't want to see that thumb getting into that trigger guard. Now it's really important that when you're gripping with your support hand, that this portion of your hand actually comes into contact with the gun. One of the ways you're going to mitigate recoil when you're shooting a gun is by creating friction. And the only way you can create friction is by two surfaces coming into contact with each other. That is why this portion of your hand needs to come into contact with the gun right through here. Got a nice squeeze front to back, you add your support hand, you stack your thumbs, and you are good to go. That is a proper thumbs forward, two-handed, semi-auto handgun grip. So I hope that helps. Once again, practice the fundamentals. You'll be able to shoot better and more accurately in the long run.